If you're not adding anything to the culture that you claim, you don't deserve to carry its name. This is Brother Hatim coming at you live, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Shout out to the Gye-Nyame tribe.
We need
Gye-Nyame
your feedback
as
well as your input. If you have an MP3 that you would like to send in to be broadcast over one of the shows, feel free to send it to Hatim, HA2TIM at GyeNyameJourney.com. Be sure to follow Gye-Nyame Journey on Facebook, Google+, and Twitter. Check us out. Join the journey. Peace. This is Brother Hatim, and you have joined us on Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Be sure to check out our site and subscribe at tribe.GyeNyameJourney.com. Alright, peace. This is Brother Hatim coming at you live and direct. I'm sitting here at the school, and we just got done viewing The Secret to Barling by the Kenyatta the Barber Walters of hip hop, and we're gonna try to get some insight on some of the stuff. But before we do that, I need you to listen to this real quick.
The word is spreading. More and more people are switching to Ambit Energy.
Well, one of my neighbors switched, and then I switched. Now the whole neighborhood has Ambit.
Who doesn't want to save money?
The word is spreading. Switching to Ambit Energy is rewarding in more ways than one.
I signed up and got a travel reward. That's nice.
Oh, I get to save on energy and on travel?
There's a cruise for two out there just a few thousand kilowatts away. I can almost smell the sunscreen.
The word is spreading. Ambit Energy even lets you earn free energy.
When I get 15 friends to switch, I get free energy. I have 15 friends. At least I think I do.
Hey, I'd be telling people to switch to Ambit anyway.
If you'd like to switch to Ambit Energy, listen to the following contact information closely. Then spread the word.
Alright, we're back. This is Brother Hatim, joined by fam. Of course, y'all know, doing that warrior training. It's Saturday. I was kind of skimpy in who's. Hey, I want to do a conversation because we just got done watching a movie called The Secret to Barling by Kenyatta the Barber Walters. He has a YouTube station called Hip Hop Motivation. I stumbled on it because I was looking for other people that do something similar to what we do here at Gye-Nyame, and there he was. You know what I'm saying? So they've been talking about this movie for a while, and I wanted to bring the show up as a possibility of a movie that we would one, share with the group, which we just did. Probably do it again when we got more people, but also share during the Kwanzaa celebration if we finally decide that we are going to offer it, one of the movies. So what did y'all think about the movie? You gotta talk up.
It showed righteous to being wealthy, more to being the one that is mainly of you basically coming out of a state of we coming out of the perspective that we want to be the ones to sign paychecks instead of being getting paychecks.
Oh, okay. Alright. Anybody else? Anything stuck out? Anything you want to share?
So I like the fact that it was under an hour, because I think about the demographic of the individuals that we that we deal with and how short their attention span is, and so being able to catch snippets of their attention and in that quick moment, then being able to go into conversation is critical right now.
Okay. Anybody else? Well, you come from the young demographic. Did you like it? I mean, you can at least say that. Did you like it or not? Is it something that you think your generation like? Huh?
It was fun.
It was fun?
It was fine.
It was fine? Okay. But ain't nothing that you would necessarily go out and just pick up. Alright. How about you, Mama?
I thought at least it was different perspectives of how to be creative and find your divine purpose, and your purpose is going to lead to that financial gain that everybody's seeking. And so instead of you landing yourself into jobs that you don't like or whatever, but it's basically finding your passion, staying the course, so that way you can be able to generate whatever income to be able to still, let's say, complete your destiny in life.
So about finding what you love. The thing that stuck out to me was Timberland saying that the music was actually a vehicle that led him into his purpose. So the fact that he enjoyed music actually let him find out what his true purpose and what his mission was, or is.
So they talked about some major pieces in there. One of the pieces was imagination. Anybody take any notes or take any mental notes on the parts or some of the things that they talk about the imagination? Because that was one of the first qualities that they talked about far as the secret to balling.
So imagination is more important than knowledge. As he was taking a quote from actually Einstein. He says the imagination and what you create in your mind is what actually becomes. So those thoughts become the words you start to speak, and the words you speak turn into the actions that you are actually doing. And actually, somebody else in the video had mentioned and said that our words, what we speak, is the verbal part, but our action is the action words. It's the words in action.
So in our like you said, our thoughts precede our actions, and when we put our mind as a man thinking, so is he, right?
And also being in control of those images that make up our imagination.
So right now, I mean, bringing it back to part of what we are, who's in control of the images that we see?
Ourselves.
Are we?
I mean, logically, a lot of images come off of day-to-day life and stress. Comes from what we see or something that we think of the most. But your imagination could be the best of you, because if you don't control it, you can control yourself. And you ask, how can you control your imaginations? It's more basically how healthy your mind is.
They say that the imagination is a great servant but a horrible master. And I think a lot of us allow our imagination to become our master. You know what I'm saying? Because I think in the way that we are educated or taught, first off, because they talked about the secret to balling, how a lot of us are taught to they kept using the term putting the cart before the horse. I heard that at least, I think, maybe 3 times. Right. Where it's like, when I was coming up and was going to school, nobody really gave a damn about what I was good at. The only thing they looked at was that I was smart enough to pass tests. So that what they told me I needed to do was just go to college so that I could make money. So it's like they automatically believed that me just going to college would equate me making money. And actually they sent me to college so that I could make money, rather than sending me to college to pursue what I love.
And I think we're doing a disservice to a lot of our children nowadays because we're almost doing the same thing to them, right? Then we're putting limits on our own imagination because, one, we're not even showing people the possibilities of where they could take their lives.
So something else that was mentioned was actually reading. You know, looking at so when we're looking at films, we're looking at TV, which has its place. But if I spend the majority of my time looking at those images, I'm looking at somebody else's imagination being manifested in front of me, and so those images start to influence the way that I view the world. And so, but then that makes me think about our 224 process, and we talk about taking those 2 hours out of the day to work on ourselves. So kind of taking yourself away from all of the other images and using your own imagination to create the health that you want, increase the knowledge that you have and whatnot. It's as we continue to work on ourselves, it's taking that time where we're basically,
or even if we got negativity that's transpiring, you know, in today's society or world, what you're speaking of, in order for us to be able to make those type of changes, then yes, we are going to have to go back to that creative thinking and start producing what it is, how we want the future to look.
Right.
So, any other things that stuck out to anybody?
Oh, it's the fact that there's conflict that you're going to have to deal with.
Always.
It's a conflict.
Always a challenge, man.
Always there. So the issue is not having a problem. The problem actually prepares you for what's coming next, because ultimately it's about the problems that you're able to solve. Because problems are always going to arise, and anybody can point out what the problem is. Like, oh, that's what's wrong. But how many of us are actually coming up with solutions or imagining a way to solve the problems that we have, so that we don't have to deal with that same thing again?
Or even passing the knowledge on to others. You know what I'm saying? That's why I keep on stressing. We got to write, man. We got to put our stuff down. We got to start sharing our story, so that our children don't repeat our mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm gonna need to pass your story to her so she can start learning how to recognize when she might be falling into the same trap as you. I mean, because a lot of this stuff is generational. Whether we're talking about wealth, or whether we're talking about poverty, whether we're talking about sickness, whether we're talking about health, a lot of this is generational, because I see as I get older, I'm starting to see more and more of the men and some of the women that had a huge impact in my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing it, and it's crazy, because I woke up one morning, I'm like, damn, I'm spoken just like some of my uncles that I used to just, you know what I'm saying? So I had decided, is that the path that I want to go, because I know where it ends.
Right.
You know?
The other thing that stuck out to me too was they talk about relationships. The relationships that you build and the relationships that you foster. Method Man was talking about the people that he hung around, the people that he had, the choices that he had.
Right.
You know, the people that were on the block that were drinking 40s, those were the alcoholics. You had the others that was, working out, or they was going to boxing. He said he chose to hang out with the individuals who smoke weed and rhyme, because that's what he wanted to do. So you surround yourself with individuals who are in that same vein, or going in the same direction.
So who you hang around, man, can determine
where you go.
And a lot of people don't believe that. A lot of people don't hang. Who was I? I was listening to somebody, and I'm hearing this from a lot of speakers. You are the sum. You are the average of your 5 closest friends. You know what I'm saying? So whatever your 5 closest friends are doing, or how they are around you, you are the average of all of them. So if they all broke, they all struggling, they all lost, you know what I'm saying?
It's because the circle determines what you talk about. What you talk about determines what you think about. What you think about determines what you ultimately do. So, even have
go back to the old saying, birds of a feather flock together.
Birds of a feather. One of my mentors, he even said, calls it the 30% rule. To say, you may have some people there in your circle that you love, you grew up with, that just ain't doing nothing. He said, but the majority of your circle better be about something, or you find yourself setting yourself up for failure.
So would y'all suggest this movie for something like the Kwanzaa piece, or would you suggest, did you like it?
I liked it.
I did. I mean, then I'm in agreement too that it wasn't real long where, because after, like, their attention span is really not on point like that. So there was a lot of key things that were mentioned, especially for the males. Especially for the males at this time and age, they need to be able to hear that it's not easy, and that you're not going to always, you know what I mean? You got to keep working to be able to find what your passion is. You might not just wake up and know what it is, but once you start surrounding yourself with those like-minded people, those gifts start manifesting themselves. So.
Yes, and then the number one thing that stuck out is what you love and what you're good at. Mm-hmm. And finding a way that those two can be blended together to ultimately bring you what you're looking for. And success wasn't viewed as money per se.
Right.
It was viewed as being able to walk in your purpose. And if you're doing that, they said the money will follow.
Now, one of the things I learned watching this video, and it goes back to when we watched Wall Street, Black Wall Street, Resurrecting Black Wall Street. This is a project that can be done. I mean, it's like, the only thing that's stopping us from doing a project like this is us. Right. Because basically we got all the equipment to put something like that together. You know what I'm saying? I've been waiting for this movie for almost a year. Because when I first heard about them doing it, I would go back periodically and check. And had me wait. Then finally when it came out, I went and got it. And I'm glad that I got it, because I like sharing stuff like that. I like sharing Black Wall Street. I like, in some form or fashion, supporting the creators, the content creators in our community. But what it's demonstrating to me is that, we're one step away from putting together something like this for ourselves. Because, this is a direct to consumer. So I didn't even have to order a DVD. I just went to Vimeo and I paid it. So anybody that want to check out the movie, you can get it on Vimeo. And I think it was like $12.99, or you can rent it for a period of time for $4.99. Support the creator, So, anything else?
So that's the way that we practice that Gye-Nyame, that cooperative economics, being able to support projects like this. So listening to Kahari's show this morning, they were talking about how there's the movement to boycott Black Friday. Mm-hmm. So the question is, boycott the demand, like, and say, is it?
So that gets back to having, I think you might have brought up having a purpose.
Yeah.
Being clear on why you're doing something. And a lot of times, and I'm noticing that a lot of stuff that we do as a group, as a large, extremely 40 million people, right, we're not really clear on what it is that we want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was thinking, kind of take it off. I asked this question. I was thinking because I'm listening to this new book called Debt: The First 5,000 Years, and this book, I call it a paradigm smasher, because you start listening to some of the ideas that this dude had. And the first question that came to me, because he started talking about the connection between debt
and the economic system and slavery. You know what I'm saying? Leading all the way back up to modern times. I mean, it's crazy. First off, the concept of slavery being about them going and snatching strong bucks. You know what I'm saying? Partially true, but the true wealth in slavery was always women.
Produce the next generation.
Oh man. I mean, when you take a slave, when you take somebody, you make them a slave, you break all of their relations. First relationship, their relationship with their God, because now they in doubt about their God because you done just totally came in and just destroyed everything. And what your God allowed us to happen? You destroy all their familiar relationships. So, you know, the father can't protect them, their brothers can't protect them. Boom, boom, boom. You destroy all these relationships, and you turn an individual into a thing, basically, that's totally disconnected, right? So when you do that to a man, all you do is get one person. Right?
Oh, right.
It's just like
you see what I'm saying? Right. You get one person. But when I do that to a woman, I get a person that can generate another person. And it don't require somebody that look like her to impregnate her in order for me to get the next generation of workers. So slavery was really not about them getting us. Now, they got us, but it was about getting you. Right? So now, this is the first question. This is the question I asked. What came first? Freedom or slavery? And we ain't got the answer, but I mean, cause I'm trying. How can I put it? Looking at a video like this, right? And then listening to a book at the same time talking about that, right? I always got to go back and start thinking about some of the critical questions, because we're talking about balling. We're talking about balling. What came first, the baller or the faller? What came first, freedom or slavery? What came first? You know what I'm saying? Or is there some medium that we need to be moving towards so that we can experience the fullness of life? You understand what I'm saying?
Because I mean, you think about it, the crazy thing is the way that a lot of these quote-unquote educational institutions are teaching you to go out and get a job, or as my father used to say, to become a wage slave.
Mm-hmm.
So
basically what it is.
Because what we're doing is we are exchanging time for money, or better yet, we're exchanging, time equates to life.
Mm-hmm.
So we are giving up life energy to somewhere else, exchange for pay.
Mm-hmm.
How much is your life really?
I mean, and it's really, like you said, that money is used for at least our survival, you know, our basic needs. So
just to get started.
Yeah, I wonder really where could we be if our basic needs were met? Honestly, what can we really produce? Because like you said, look at all of the time that we're using to be able to build somebody else's institutions, whereas if we put that amount of time in building our own, I'm telling you.
You had that
yeah.
But then this
your
is the
imagination.
question. Check this out. How much of the time, even at our jobs, because it's almost like they're paying us to waste our lives.
Right.
Because a lot of jobs that we do are useless. You know what I'm saying? It's like if certain jobs weren't here, it wouldn't be like they would really be meant. Like telemarketing. You know, I mean, even when we look at the education institution, I mean, people be like, you need education to succeed. But all the education, when you really look at it, I know some people will get mad at me.
No, but now when you go back to our ancestors, when I'm seriously, like, you didn't go to school, you didn't even know how to read, but you still was successful. You were, a major inventor. I'm saying, so you did not need book knowledge. You were born with it.
Yes. See, and we are being taught.
With it, really.
We've been taught, and we're telling our kids that you need education to be successful. Even the black president saying education is all important, and we got all black. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, education is, but we have not been specific on the type of education
that
you go.
That is needed.
There you go.
That's
because the book knowledge is that each one of us is a book to be read. Mm-hmm. As I interact and have conversation with you, I'm able to glean from the things that you have written as you walk your daily life.
Right, right. So it's like they have in a sense used their Kujichagulia to define what education is, and we have fed into that concept of education, and we think that the only way we will be successful is going to these universities, which is the biggest hustle, and one of the biggest hustle at this point in time in history, and pay $100,000, get $100,000 in debt, come out, and never be able to get a job to pay for that. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, so I got to go back to my question. What came first, freedom or slavery? Education or ignorance? You know what I'm saying? What came first? You know what I'm saying? And which one is...
and in which system?
Yeah,
and in which
I think that's probably what the real,
Because you think about, capitalism, the way that it works is through exploitation.
Through somebody has to be broke. You know what I'm saying? So when we get on the point that everybody can be rich, the fact of the matter is that everybody can't be rich. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, we started talking about the ambit piece. You want to know about the ambit piece? One of the pieces, one of the first things that people say to me, oh man, that sounds like a pyramid. But then I have to reflect and ask the question, name one business that is not a pyramid.
Right, every organization that you work under, is a pyramid structure.
Entry-level workers, there you go. Up to your middle management, then you got your senior management, then you got your CEO.
Right, and it gets smaller as you move up.
Right, and until somebody decides that they want to leave, which they often do not leave,
right,
you hit a ceiling unless you're able to go off and start your own thing. And so, but the thing about this is that you're not stopped by the person that brought you in.
You keep moving, right? You know what I'm saying?
It's like a franchise,
right? But a lot of people get stuck on the fact that the negative word pyramid. You know what I'm saying? When our whole society, all the businesses, all the institutions,
we talking about one of the greatest wonders of the world. People still trying to figure out how. But now it's a negative.
Now it's a negative thing when it comes to us doing our own thing, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you allow your enemy to define things for you, it warps reality to a point where something that could make sense to you is totally outside of your ability to think about it.
Because I'm upset that you get benefit off of the work that I do, but if I'm thinking in terms of
honestly, that's how life works, though.
But if I'm
seriously, we all need each other to survive, right? So why ain't it beneficial?
If I'm a part of the community, the things that I do should be able to benefit all that are members of the community.
But you got to remember now, back to the book, right now. So that book is about debt, right? But when we think about debt, we think about money. But societies are held together by debt, right? Now, when I'm born, I supposedly come into this world with there's no way I could pay back the debt to my ancestors who was here before me, right? There's no way I could pay the debt back to my mother. You know what I'm saying? For in a sense, sacrificing flesh for me to be created. There's no way I can repay her for the nurturance that her and my father, if my father's in the picture, gave me, or repay her for the amount of meat, food that she provided me. Even for my own body, she turned her flesh into something that nurtured me. There's no way I could repay that debt. So what I do is I will be faithful to the society from which she bore me. You see what I'm saying? I would take the love and appreciation that I have for you, and I would transfer it to the next higher thing up, which would be the society or the culture that I come from, right? What they have done, or what we have allowed to happen, is that they have warped our sense of debt, where we only could owe them. When it comes to us owing us, it's like we ain't worthy. You're not worthy to have my loyalty. You know what I'm saying? You know why? Because you look just like me. You look like a loser.
Don't start.
You understand what I'm saying? And I mean, because that when Homeboy broke that out for me, I'm like, damn. I was like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? He ain't say that. White boy ain't say that in the book, but I'm thinking about what he's saying. And right now, we have the freest. That's what the question, what came first? Freedom or slavery? Because right now we have a generation of individuals that are the freest. that our people have ever been. Our children owe nobody nothing. I don't owe you no respect. I don't owe you nothing. I don't owe the ancestors. I don't give a fuck what y'all did before I got here. I don't owe nothing. They are totally free, because that, when you look at the definition of freedom, freedom is not this super deep concept that we talking about. Freedom basically means that you owe nothing to nobody. That's what nirvana is. That's what when you are released into heaven, you are debt free. You no longer owe anything else. You're in heaven now. You're free. All of our religions, all this stuff is based on that. And the piece that I'm saying is, I'm looking at the young people. They don't owe nobody shit. They free. They have achieved nirvana. Sometimes they have achieved what spiritual masters have been trying to do for a long time. And we see that shit don't work. It don't work. We got the most spiritually free people on the planet right now, and we can't move forward.
That's because, well, they do know they free. Let's say, because there's aspects of them that do know they're free. But then here you go saying, what came first, freedom or slavery? Then those of us that are enslaved are going to now put them in a position of being a slave. So then you start conditioning them as a slave instead of as a free person. Like you said, go to school so you can go get you a good job, that type of, so you're going to keep forcing it in on the child, so that way, see, it cuts off that freedom.
It cuts it off. But right now, I'm looking, because being in the school, I have to wonder if this generation is even going to be prepared for anything. And I know generations, older generations always talk about younger generations in that way, but it's almost like we are educating our children in a way that I believe, my personal belief, like in no other time in history, we are educating them in a way and in a process that is so anti-reality that it's basically snatching our children's, it's snatching their abilities away, because we're training them in a way that no longer works. You know what I'm saying?
But us able to be able to sit down and start dialoguing. Maybe, I don't know if our ancestors did this, and maybe they did, but us having the ability to be able to do those things and be able to look back a little bit to be able to see where we're at, then we got power to be able to change that.
So I ain't mean to take us off on all that, but now we approaching 6 o'clock, so I'm gonna shut it down. Hopefully those out there in podcast land, you heard it. I'm gonna play the commercial one more time, and then we're gonna get on up out of here.
The word is spreading. More and more people are switching to Ambit Energy.
Well, one of my neighbors switched, and then I switched. Now the whole neighborhood has Ambit.
Who doesn't want to save money?
The word is spreading. Switching to Ambit Energy is rewarding in more ways than one.
I signed up and got a travel reward. That's nice.
Oh, I get to save on energy and on travel?
There's a cruise for 2 out there just a few thousand kilowatts away. I can almost smell the sunscreen.
The word is spreading. Ambit Energy even lets you earn free energy.
When I get 15 friends to switch, I get free energy. I have 15 friends. At least I think I do.
Hey, I'd be telling people to switch to Ambit anyway.
If you'd like to switch to Ambit Energy, listen to the following contact information closely. Then spread the word.
Alright, this is Brother High Tim. I also forgot, I need to remind y'all, we got a fish fry coming on November 20th. Hopefully I get to see all of y'all there. Come in, I'll probably be doing, if we got enough people working, I'm going to be able to do the show. If not, I'm going to be hustling, but I'll probably find a way to do the show anyway. So come on out, support us. November 20th at 3500 Refugee Road, the Millennium Community School. We'll be having our monthly fish fry, right? So with that, Brother Tim says, I'm out. Anybody got something they want to say? Too black, too strong.